Good afternoon and welcome to our first ever Title I drive-through event. And so today I'm going to read to you briefly The Legend of Spookly the Square Pumpkin by Joe Troiano. So let's get started reading this book. I'm excited to see what it's about. I've never seen a square pumpkin. I'm just going to put that out there. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends. Where they had curves, he had ends. Spookly was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be square. Uh-oh. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, then off they go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight. Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be square that night. Suddenly the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out into the bay. That's scary. Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally flipped. He was on his side. Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then, what do we think happens? He stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way the hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookly the square pumpkin has saved the day." Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell was starting to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Uh-oh. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. And then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And then the last was moved away. The farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Look at it right here. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too. But there was brave little Spookly sitting straight, strong, and true. But then and there the farmer knew. Of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookly's were the most special that had ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, the morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, most of them square. But I'm getting excited. Some were cubes, some rectangles, some were flat, and others were triangles. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookly Patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now that you know the story of how Spookly grew, maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go tell someone who'll go tell another, and maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. The end. All right. These reading, you're going to come through the drive-through line for car riders on this evening, and you're going to pick up your bag, and in your bag there's going to be some goodies and some treats, but there's also going to be some reading strategies and information about how to find the video, which you might have already found. Find the video, and there's going to be some strategies that go along with it. If you complete the writing activity and turn it back into your teacher, your name will be put in for a prize. Hope you enjoyed this book as much as we did.